news updates on AYOGEN TV. I am ABIODUN Jeanette. We're glad you're with us today. These are our top stories. Tinubu canvasses stronger bilateral relations between Nigeria and Brazil. Peter Obi on Igbo ladies' threat to poison Yorubas. Edo people ignore hate and tribalism. Reps ask Canadian government to prosecute Nigerian threatening Yoruba Benis with poison. Ondo shifts local government election to January 2018. Fresh protest breaks out in UI as council backs fee hike. Adeleke plants electricity generation in Ocean. Etiosa East gives GCE forms cash to students. Akpakpa donates vehicles to police legislators nudge. Exploitative pricing. Traders get 1 month notice to crash prices. Fire got Lagos government staff quarters at Odba. My values have not changed. Harris defends White House record in high-stakes interview. Israel agrees to pauses in fighting for polio vaccine drive. More details on the highlight after this short break. Stay tuned. Welcome back. We're glad you're still with us. More details on the highlights coming up. Tinubu canvasses stronger bilateral relations between Nigeria and Brazil. President Bola Tinubu has expressed Nigeria's commitment to working closely with Brazil to strengthen bilateral relations and advance shared priorities, welcoming the country's presidency of the G20 in 2024. Receiving the letter of credence from the Brazilian ambassador to Nigeria, Carlos Jose, at the State House, Abuja on Thursday, the president said he has a long history of bilateral and cultural relations with Brazil. We as Nigeria must see as our second home and explore the abundant economic opportunities in the country. President Tinubu called on the new Brazilian ambassador to Nigeria to prioritize the establishment of direct flights between Nigeria and Brazil. The president reiterated his discussions with his Brazilian counterparts on the matter in Friday 2024 on the margins of the African Union Summit in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Peter Obi on Igbo ladies threat to poison Yorubas, Edo people ignore hate and tribalism. Former Labour Party LP presidential candidate Peter Obi has condemned Nigerian lady based in Canada, Amaka Sombega, who called for the poisoning of Yorubas and Bini people. Obi urged Nigerians to unite and not allow tribalism and hate tear them apart. Sombega's threat against Yoruba and Edo people in Canada on TikTok. Reacting, Obi posted on X, he haughtily condemned the reported hateful statement and actions attributed to a Nigerian woman living in Canada against other Nigerians of diverse origins. Such divisive comments or behavior have no place in our society. He has consistently stood against the tribalism in the country, religious and political lines. Reps asked Canadian government to prosecute Nigerian threatening Yoruba Benis with poison. The House of Representatives has written to the Canadian government asking it to investigate and prosecute Amaka patient Sombega, a Nigerian residing in the country, for making threatening comments against fellow Nigerians of Yoruba and Bini extractions. In a video clip that started trending on X.com on Tuesday, a woman's voice was heard making anti-Yoruba comment during a virtual meeting on TikTok. The woman, who claimed to be a resident of Ontario, Canada, vowed to take poisonous substances to her workplace and harm any Yoruba hate against the Igbo. She also dismissed the possibility of arrest, citing her Canadian citizenship as a protection, stating that Canada's legal system was unlike Nigeria's where arrests could be made without questioning. Ondo shifts local government election to January 18, 2025. Ondo State Independent Electoral Commission has again shifted the local government election in the state to January 18, 2025. ODHEC Chairman Dr. Joseph Aremo disclosed this during a stakeholders meeting held at the Commission's headquarters in Akure, the state capital, on Thursday. The election, which was to be conducted on December 16, 2023, was postponed to February 17 and later postponed to July 13 and finally postponed indefinitely before the announcement of the new dates. Aremo, who assured residents of the Commission's readiness to conduct a free, fair, and credible election, stated that the exercise would be transparent. He urged political parties that had conducted primaries before the postponement to forward the validated list of candidates to the Commission. The completion of political parties' primaries and validation of candidates will take place from November 25 to December 7. Speaking further, he said that the distribution of non-sensitive materials to the 8th 10, 2025. Also speaking, the state chairman of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, Mr. Olaoluwa Adesoya, expressed satisfaction with ODX chairman's presentation on the preparedness of the commission for the elections. Adesoya assured the commission and residents of IPAC's participation in the election. Fresh protest breaks out in UI as council backs fee hike. Students at the University of Ibadan in Oyo State have commenced a fresh protest after the University Governing Council endorsed a recent fee hike. The demonstrations, which began at midnight on Friday, were said to have been triggered by a circular issued Thursday by the Council Secretary, G.O. Saliu. The circular obtained the circular, which was obtained, stated that after a meeting on Thursday, the council had considered the review schedule of levies for newly admitted and returning undergraduate students in 2023 and 2024 academic session and approved it as commenced and as recommended by the university's Senate. It further noted, consequently, students who are yet to pay and complete their registration exercises are advised to do so on or before Wednesday, September 4, 2024, to enable departments to download lists of registered students in preparation for the fourth semester examination. Adeleke plans electricity generation in Osun. The Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke on Thursday disclosed plans by his administration to embark on electricity generation for the state using available river and solar assets. Adeleke, who spoke in Ilesha during the flag-off of the construction of the 33 kV feeder line, said his vision was for Osun to be self-sufficient in power supply and also export to neighboring states. The governor recalled that the project was abandoned for over 11 years, adding that during the period it was in limbo, residents of Oboku and 3 other local government areas suffered hardship, blackout, and economic loss. He further said the state had a draft electricity bill and policy which would expand power generation and distribution and directed the Ministry of Energy to develop an implementation plan with timelines and deliverables. AT-OSA East gives GCE forms cash to students. Chairman of Etiosa East Local Government Development Area, LCDA, John Campos, has given out 100 free GCE forms and scholarship awards to students. These gestures, he said, is an opportunity to assist them in furthering their education. 3,000 naira each was given to 50 students in tertiary institutions as bursary, and an award of scholarship of 250,000 naira each. Each would be given to 10 outstanding students with excellent grades in both undergraduate and postgraduate studies. 100 GCE forms were given out also to children in the terminal year of high school. Akpakpa donates vehicles to police legislators, nudge. Chairman of Akpakpa Local Government, Idowu Shembajo, has donated vehicles to the police legislators, Nigerian Union of Local Government Employees, NUJ, and Primary Health Center. The trial of Area B Police Command, Ijora Badia Police Command, and Nigeria Port Authority Police Command were among the beneficiaries. Shembajo said the vehicles were given to various police commands and community groups to support their operations and enhance service delivery. This, she said, is part of her effort to protect the people of the Port City Council. While presenting the vehicles, Shembajo acknowledged the invaluable contributions of the police to the Akpakpa community and expressed her desire to support their efforts in reducing crime rates. Exploitative pricing. Traders get 1 month notice to crash prices. More updates on the highlight after this short break. Stay tuned. You see with us. More updates and highlights coming up soon. Traders get 1 month notice to crash prices over exploitative pricing. The Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, gave a month's notice to traders and other market stakeholders involved in exploitative pricing to crash the prices of goods. The Executive Vice Chairman of the FCCPC, Mr. Tunji Bello, gave the order at a one-day stakeholders engagement on exploitative pricing yesterday in Abuja. According to Bello, the Commission will begin enforcement after the expiration of the notice. He said the meeting was to address the growing trend of unreasonable pricing of consumer goods and services and unwholesome practices of market associations. Bello said the issue of critical national importance of the day is growing trend of unreasonable pricing of consumer goods and services across the country, and the unwholesome practice of market associations engaged in price fixing. Fire guards Lagos government staff quarters at Ogba. According to report, the incident happened in the wee hours of the day, precisely around 2:20 a.m. It was gathered that one of the two bedrooms in Flat 5 of Block 21, a two-winged three-story building of 16 two-bedroom flats, was burnt. A preliminary investigation conducted by the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASMA, revealed that the fire originated from an electrical surge in the children's room. The permanent secretary, LASMA, Mr. Femi Oke, said the fire completely destroyed the children's bedroom, resulting in loss of properties worth millions of naira. In international news, my values have not changed. As Vice President Kamala Harris defended her shift on policy, President Joe Biden and her time in the White House in her first interview since becoming the Democratic nominee. Mrs. Harris argued that the Biden administration was able to reduce illegal border crossings in recent months and recover the economy after the pandemic. She called the White House's policies as success, specifically pointing to a decline in a prescription drug cost and unemployment rate. That is good work. There is more to do. Mrs. Harris appeared in the pre-recorded CNN interview with her running mate. It was her first as a presidential candidate. The vice president was forced to defend the White House's economic track record as inflation and high cost of living prices continue to sting American pocketbooks. Polls have regularly suggested that voters would prefer Republican candidate Donald Trump's handling of the economy, but the most tense exchanges between Ms. Harris and CNN interviewer Dana Bash centered on the assertion that the Democratic nominee's policy positions had undergone changes during her time as vice president and as a presidential candidate. Israel against to pauses in fighting for polio vaccine drive. Israel has agreed to a series of humanitarian pauses in Gaza to allow for the vaccination of children against polio. The World Health Organization (WHO) has said the campaign will aim to vaccinate around 640,000 children across the Gaza Strip and will begin on Sunday. Senior WHO World Health Organization official Rick said it will be rolled out in 3 separate stages across the central, southern and northern parts of the Strip. During each stage, fighting will pause for 3 consecutive days between 6 o'clock and 15 o'clock local time. The agreement comes days after United Nations officials said a 10-month-old baby had been partially paralyzed after contracting Gaza's first case of polio for 25 years. And that was AYOGEN Morning News Updates. But before we go, now to the recap of the headlines. Thank you for staying tuned. Now to the recap of the headlines. Tinubu canvasses stronger bilateral relations between Nigeria and Brazil. Peter Obi on Igbo lady's threat to poison Yorubas, Edo people. Reps ask Canadian government to prosecute Nigerian threatening Yoruba Benin with poison. Ondo shifts local government election to January 18, 2025. Fresh protest breaks out in UI as council backs fee hike. Adeleke plans electricity generation in Osun. Eti-Osa East gives GCE forms cash to students. Akpakpa donates vehicles to police legislatures, nudge. Traders get 1 month's notice to crash prices over exploitative pricing. And in